What can entrepreneurs learn from a prostitute? Good question, more than you think. So, because in the real world, business isn't just theory, it's about survival. And if there's any profession that teaches people about survival, I think the prostitution profession will be one of it. So, a colleague of mine did a study on some prostitutes, asked them questions about how they run their business. I went through the study and I want to share with you some of his findings. So you know that entrepreneurship is not just reserved for the tech founders that started their business in the garage or in the suites in the boardrooms. Sometimes the rawest businesses are started in the most unlikely places, and the rawest business lessons come from the unlikeliest sources. Like a college educated woman who left her job of being an IT professional to becoming a high-end escort. She understood her market, she knew her clients, she invested in branding, and she even had a dedicated line for her customers to reach her. She knew her product, she owned her product, she was her own marketer, and she had an operations manager. And while these things don't sound as sophisticated as you would hear them if they were coming from someone who was talking from a corporate point of view, it was something that actually worked for her, to the point where she started making more money than she would if she was still working in IT. Now, I'm not saying you should leave your IT job. I'm just trying to say, from the study, what can we learn from it? And she noted something interesting that I thought you would learn from as an entrepreneur. It was how she learned to praise her product. She constantly called around and asked her colleagues what the highest going rate was. And she kept her tabs on that. And depending on the feedback she got, routinely, she would up her market price. Most of the time, sometimes she had to drop it to maintain clients. And the lesson there is that entrepreneurs do the same. And if you're not doing that, you should. So you should keep your fingers on the tap. You must know what is happening. You have to use data, differentiation, demand curves that default to industry averages. You don't want to use those, rather. You want to do what this lady did. You want to keep tabs on not just industry averages. You want to look at what is it that people like yourself who are getting the clients, what are they charging, and charge accordingly. If you don't do that, you realize that you are selling under yourself below what you should sell yourself. I think that's it. And that doesn't have to, when you do that, that doesn't have to drop your confidence or even drop your profit. If you get it right, on the contrary, your profit will go up and your confidence will rise. So price is not just about cost, it's also about perception, it's about positioning, and it's about courage. Key lessons or key takeaways is that you are your product, invest in it, your price signals your value, you have to own it, and you don't just follow the market blindly. You want to also lead the market. Demand curves exist even when you don't see them, and the right conversation can always shift your entire strategy. Entrepreneurship is everywhere. It's in the hustle, it's in the instinct, it's in risk, and sometimes the best business class lessons does not come from a professor in the classroom. It might be from somebody wearing high heels on the street. The lessons I've learned from that study is what I'm sharing with you today. You have to know your pricing power, know your worth, street smart business rules, and embrace unlikely teachers.